A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "In those days, after that tribulation, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from the sky, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. And then he will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the end of the earth to the end of the sky. Learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its branch becomes tender and sprouts leaves, you know that summer is near. In the same way, when you see these things happening, know that he is near, at the gates. Amen, I say to you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But of that day or hour no one knows, neither the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So in our first reading today and in the Gospel, we hear about the end times. The end times can be frightening. When my daughter Mary was 10 years old, she was obsessed with the end times, and she was terrorized by the thought of the end times. At that time in my career, I was traveling, and she'd say, "Dad, what if you're not here when this happens? And we're not together?" And she would be crying, you know. And I sat her down and I told her what I think Jesus wants us to hear today. Yes, the end times are coming. There's people that believe we're in the midst of the end times now. I personally believe that we've been in the end times since Christ was here. The end times are coming, but it doesn't do any good to worry about them, because as Jesus points out, only the Father knows when that will occur. And worrying about it is not going to change that. Mark Twain once said that worrying is like paying interest on money that you haven't borrowed yet. So the point is that we need not worry about the end times. What we need to do is concentrate on the message in the letter to the Hebrews today. Christ suffered and died and rose from the dead for our salvation. We've already won the victory. There's nothing to fear. Fear will not change what happens at the end of time. And what we have to do is live our lives every day and be ready as though it were going to happen tonight. And how do we do that? By keeping his commandments, by living the Beatitudes, and by taking advantage of the tools that the church has left us in the sacraments of penance and Eucharist, so that we're always ready. Because, brothers and sisters, the end of the world will happen when the end of the world happens. But my world could end tonight. So I have to be ready every day. So I ask you this question, brothers and sisters. Are you ready? In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.